Oh my gosh, this is this is ridiculous.
It's gonna be such a bad stream because we're gonna be so distracted by the fact we have a green screen.
I mean, like,
we're not
we
gonna be able to.
stutter over our words enough,
Yes,
but like being able to see ourselves,
yeah,
this is gonna be wild.
yeah. This is gonna be such a friggin' trip for us. Excited for everyone to join us. Can't wait for people to start showing up.
Right.
We have anybody in?
I don't know if we got anyone in yet, but I got a bunch of people who says they're coming.
Okay.
So,
Well, we'll just play the waiting game.
I mean, you can hit the button.
Dun 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 dun. You want me to just go ahead and start?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. We're in the trial ladder.
Okay, we got that, got that, got that.
There's a lot of words over there. That's all them green words. I'm surprised they're showing up on the screen.
You're so stupid.
I told you, this is going to be terrible. This is going to be so dumb. I'm going to be constantly doing that shit.
Hi!
Hello!
I see you!
Hey! Face cam. D2E face reveal. That is, if you haven't seen any of our E3 videos, which if you haven't, go watch them. They were fun.
You did a lot of work on them.
Yeah, I did.
Hit the button.
All right, here we go.
Phoenix! I'll just look over here. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Spire. Cam!
Cam!
Not just Cam! Green screen.
You see the void behind us? No, you don't. You don't see it because it's not there. That's the point. That's the magic. It's Hollywood
We could
magic.
reach up and try to grab Phoenix.
Yeah.
Emma didn't come back.
Gently caress him right here. I can't. I'm too far off frame. Oh, I'm fucking up. All right. Let's do some exciting voice acting. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Oh boy. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. I saw you, and I'm just like, yeah, we're gonna straight up do this, and then it escalated.
Thanks, Spire. It does look pretty funny with Phoenix huge over you.
Yeah, we're in the courtroom of the giants.
Yeah.
We're the borrowers, stealing like little things like paper clips from the lawyers so that we can survive.
Oh, we're gonna be so messed up for this one.
This is gonna be such a shit show. All right.
Okay.
All right. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
Oh, I know. You're a patrolman.
As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Howling wind? I never heard Edgeworth described that way before.
Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner.
What do you mean?
A desperado's soul is as boundless and as it ever stands. No paper can sum it up.
Oop. See, it's a reverse. I gotta get used to that.
Yeah. Oh man, we can't drink Sprite, Mountain Dew, Perrier. No, we were never in danger of that one. Heineken, Yangling, Rolling Rock.
Just nope. Floating bottle, yeah.
No beverages that could possibly be summoned by Green Lantern is basically what we're going
for. Maybe it's best we got on with this quickly. Please share with us the testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English.
Oh boy.
You alright? Soda burp.
Yeah, a little bit. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, roof's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail.
Are you able to turn down just a smidge for us?
Yeah, I could do that.
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude.
Tab into voice meter, drop it down. Just oh,
Well, that's a lot of smidge.
that's more than a smidge.
That's a smudge.
Yeah, that's let's do 12.5.
All
That seems good. That seems logical and reasonable.
Don't. Whew.
We're good. We're good. Everything's good.
I was so scared.
No, I got it. We got it. It's cool. We're good. We're good.
Go ahead. Hit the button.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Everyone throwing shade at each other in this trial for no fucking reason.
Yeah, this is a weird one.
It is such a weird one.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems?
I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers?
Fingerprint activated locks. What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those?
He's not being very helpful.
He's not that good with machines. Or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours.
Alright.
Kick his ass.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Alright. Let's see. Let's ask him about taking the rounds.
But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right?
Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. You're a policeman!
No desperados I know join the police force.
Thank you, Phoenix. Thank you. This guy. This
Your
guy.
hand
This
is
guy.
completely out.
I can't, like, this guy gets it.
Yeah.
So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime,
Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day.
there was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that?
Sorry, partner, can't say I do. I ain't been in that crypt in weeks.
How did this guy avoid being fired? Police, am I right?
Yeah. Alright, let's ask if he can vouch for that. Street side saloon.
What were you doing in a place like that?
I was eating spaghetti. Talk about a spaghetti western.
Yeah,
Whoa!
well, that's the joke.
Not even angel steak lunches can beat that parlor's vongole sepia pasta.
You should shave your beard with a knife.
I got a knife. You got a knife? I got a
This
knife.
might be the last stream I ever do if we try that.
You abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles?
Not all desperados eat tacos, partner.
That's not what I meant.
Knifing around.
I hope this at least taught you a lesson.
That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, did you not want to raise this year?
That's a good Edgeworth impression.
I'm eating noodles, Spire. What kind of noodles you eating?
Alright.
Oh, I don't have to walk through.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll keep pressing for
I'll keep
information,
winging
see
it.
if I get anything.
You used to be a detective, so you used the evidence room in the past, correct?
Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence.
And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism?
Sorry, partner, I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works.
That's quite, incredible.
Literally incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence.
Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too.
At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place?
Alright.
Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I better keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I better up the ante.
Okay, so just keep pressing, I guess. Oh, you have a glow crotch right there.
Sorry. I'm entertaining myself.
Yeah.
How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room?
Andrew's actually not wearing pants. We've just censored it in the stream.
Well, you know when I take off my pants.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still, even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings.
You interred them?
Videos and nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life.
Okay, I found my spot.
Getting deep, buddy.
This guy's a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good, I hope. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room.
Alright.
Entertaining yourself, huh? Choice of words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Mike, you got me with that one. You got me the case of the giggles.
Out of ammo. Officer Marshall?
That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence.
And how?
If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset.
One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything.
Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that.
Apparently your superiors don't. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're just doing.
I got you. I didn't realize
All
you got
right.
to the end.
Let me take a look at what we've got. Alright, so we got SL9. Yeah. So we know that Jake Marshall was. So that's. Alright. Alright, let's look at. Alright, so. Jake Marshall didn't enter here according to this.
Would you like some help?
Let me just give it a second. We got.
I know it's been a little bit, so I can.
Yeah, let me just.
He doesn't want me to give him the answer,
Scene from the
folks.
stabbing. Okay. Alright. Alright, I think I present something right here to say you weren't there. You were in the evidence room, right?
You can present on the 4th or 5th statement.
Okay. So I believe. Actually, I'm going to save real quick.
Okay.
Just cause. All right. So let's present. Let us present the handprint. Yeah, there we go.
Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner.
It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint.
Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds, about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. You guys didn't think I pointed every time? I point every GD time.
Yeah.
Witness, what is the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene.
The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall?
It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall. About the blood-stained fingerprints.
Sorry, Spire took a shot at my shirt. I'm just like reeling over here. I was like, alright, I guess I'll go upstairs and get the damn Animaniac shirt. Oh, no, what the fuck you want? He's wearing a fucking Atari shirt, you know?
Yeah, you know.
Get on him.
Old school, man. It's a classic. It's vintage.
I'm gonna go get my lime green shirt, okay?
Okay, cool.
Alright.
Very well, you may begin your testimony about fingerprints.
No thanks.
The large stretched out wrinkled one or the other large stretched out wrinkled one? That's not true of all of them. That's just like 40% of my wardrobe these days. Okay.
It's because you have this like child that likes to hang on you.
Yeah, that happens a lot. I also me losing and gaining weight impacts it.
Yeah.
And what's that car seat? I mean, sofa. Sofa. What car seat? We're not in a car.
That's ridiculous. I don't know why.
Spire. Oh, Andrew. We have a soundboard. I'm calling you up, making you record that, so we can just press anytime and have a Bryn. Oh, Andrew.
Yeah, that's fair.
Found at the scene of the crime.
Gasp. All right, Jake. Let's see you wiggle your way out of this one, buddy. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. Bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it. I just got you there.
The witness's explanation appears valid.
All right. We're back into it.
Yeah.
Back at it again at the courthouse. Let's get it done. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it.
All right. see if there's anything I could press him on. Let's see. By chance. I think that's a big part.
Spire. Shirt change! Got bullied into it. Just because he's older than me. The chances of that happening are 1 in a million. I don't know why I did that.
I don't know.
Let it go. Tacit, not tactic. Sorry. I'm illiterate.
On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
I also blame the orange font. It throws me off.
Get one thing straight, partner.
What's that?
You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why?
I do.
Alright. Didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? That's an interesting statement.
How do you know that?
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. Flashback. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh yeah, I think we tried that too.
So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint.
That's the only logical
D2
conclusion.
month entertainment. Thank you. I will. I gotta subscribe to it. It's a new month. Hey, Bad Guy 5.
Hey, he's going. You like our setup here? Our audio still sucks, but here we are. We're in the corner. We're talking to you live, excited, and
That's the only logical conclusion.
this guy gets it.
No audio right now, but green screen is sweet. No audio for you?
No audio problems. Is
Oh,
what it means.
okay.
I assume.
I hope.
Check your mute button if not.
Well, he might be watching us on mute because he's playing something or doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You good?
Short. I can't let him squirm out of this one. I've got to find something. Heart 10. Bad Guy 5 takes the #1 spot. Something decisive to tie Officer Marshall to this crime.
Alright.
Oh no, Spy Air! Pride Month is not over. 100 bits.
Alright, let's see.
We will have to do theme content like that. Like, weird flex, but okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
We'll have to play, you know, I don't know, Dream Daddy or something. Night in
Yeah.
the Woods.
Yeah. I do kind of want to play Night in the Woods again. That was a fun game. Let's see. Alright. This one's tough. I think it's the security tape, right?
Okay, I will pull it up. Press the first statement.
I did not press the first statement.
That's because you, or how did you put it?
Pay your respects once a month.
Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said.
And I say it what I mean. And
That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now is those a heap of broken dreams.
I see.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker.
Apparently, his fingerprint data was never removed from the locker's programming. He must be using the fingerprint lock all this time without even knowing it.
All right.
Now you can get to... Oh.
Are you starting to get the picture, partner?
The picture?
This seal of blood in the desert, it's just food for the buzzards.
Huh.
There's only one reality, and that's this.
The security tape.
So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise.
This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
Alright, so now we have... Too bad it wasn't me in that video. It was you in that video, and I can prove it. Yeah. Present. No? It's not that?
It's one of these Phoenix Wright kind of things. You're on the right trail, but the game doesn't want you to do it in that order.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those kind of
press
things.
it again?
So you gotta press Marshall's fifth statement.
Alright. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we already did this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we did the first and fifth statements.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Judge wants to know if you have any proof. Show evidence. So I think maybe cycle through and the judge will whine at you.
Yeah.
No?
Nope. Let me try pressing the too bad it wasn't me.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video's the only direct
Okay.
evidence you have.
But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots.
Blind spots?
Places you can't see.
Ah!
The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't even shown. This is horrible.
Yeah. This is terrible.
Why would you set it up this way? It's like they put the camera on an oscillating fan.
I think they did.
If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape.
We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, if you could show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now.
And I will.
Okay.
Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
I mean, I'm not going to jail, so...
Yeah.
Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall!
Alright. Fast forward. Alright. Here comes Meekins. There's a tussle. And he's gone. Here we go.
Bringing our attention back to the security camera. Badger, 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 badger.
Thank you.
Is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall.
The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less?
Very well.
All right, that's 2.
You can clearly be seen in this video.
Exactly 8 words. Not bad,
Oh,
partner.
cool. You didn't count the first 2. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video.
They just really love showing all that stuff.
Oh, I can't even see the curtain line. Nice job. I know, right? Headset achieved. I can hear now. Yay, bad guy. We were talking about you for a while. Tango mushroom.
Yeah.
But yeah, the green screen works really well. We were toying around with it. It's pretty cool. Expect us to do some really stupid shit with this.
I'm excited.
That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe.
Now then, let's rewind the video a bit.
With the magic of technology.
Officer Meekin's holding that paper towel roll.
I'm not going to do Meekins right now.
Oh, the white cloth! It's gone! What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened the locker when the camera was turned away.
I like his. You can see he's wearing spurs.
Order! It would seem
Hold your horses! Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man.
Bring it, bitch.
So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needs to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? Buddy? How do we break this to you?
This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really is a stupid shithead. I hate to rain on your parade.
No, wait. I love doing that.
Yeah. But you're the only person who can open that particular locker.
Oh, yeah. I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
Fingerprint sensor.
We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to.
What kind of crazy talk is this?
Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this.
In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less?
I only got one word for you, partner. No!
How did you do that?
Order! 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 Witness, explain yourself!
If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard.
I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
Olay! Please answer the question.
What is he now, a pole fighter? That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we could figure out the rest from here.
We can?
Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness?
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
This guy gets it. That's right. The only possible conclusion.
Well then, let's hear it.
He was the Blue Badger.
Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime?
Officer Marshall was standing right here. There.
So Officer Meekins didn't notice him standing there? That's almost as credible as Meekins' warp theory.
Your chamber's empty, partner. Better reload. I thought that was it.
Now they're ganging up on me.
Perhaps you should think about this a little bit more where Officer Marshall was.
Officer Meekins shouldn't have seen him in the evidence room. That means the only place he could have been would be...
Alright.
Take a look at these floor plans. Floor plans. They're the only ones I got.
Yeah.
Not much of
See,
the floor plans.
my problem
floor
is
plans
I thought
doesn't
that,
seem to
like,
show a lot.
V for victim, who was Meekins at the time, and K for killer,
Suspect of murder.
who was the guy who tried to pull a knife on the guy.
And I get his autograph.
Let's try again.
Are you sure? Officer Marshall is standing here.
There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was.
Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman!
But that's preposterous! Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
Maybe I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He testified about the man's reaction when confronted.
When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his ID card, sir!
Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? Now it's safe to drink?
Meekins intensifies.
Yeah. Something about the officer's story puzzled me, mostly his voice. If the man had his ID card, man, I hate that. had his,
See-
murders me.
Yeah, well, you know, there's that story of the two kids who both signed in a...
Sorry, bad guy. I used the Meekins dice at D&D last night. There's an ogre coming for us. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it?
I'm just thinking about the dumb joke with the English teacher. The two kids both turn in a assignment, and it was, you see, James, while Kevin had a better attack on the teacher.
Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must be carrying it?
The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card.
Can you see that? It's very shiny.
Yeah. It looks like a scratch-off ticket.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
If whoa, judge voice, what are you doing there?
Yeah.
If he had showed that, his cover would have been blown.
That's an excellent impression of me, Phoenix Wright.
Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall?
This jerky is real tough.
I was trying to decide what he was chewing.
I think it's supposed to be like a strip of leather.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Either that or just really tough jerky.
Vote now
Yeah.
on your touchtone phone.
You've got quite an imagination.
I
Captain.
do.
We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence.
I built my career on circumstantial. Circumstantial evidence? Huh? You're still denying it.
You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim.
I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. It's the
What?
second time he said that.
Yeah, I know. That guy says tough jerky, by the way.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim?
Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that.
I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat.
This is straight up Kathy. This can't be happening. Wow, McRae's a real jerk in this.
Yeah.
It's so obvious he's the one. Wow, what do I do? Help me, Edgeworth Senpai.
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out.
Yeah?
When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
The basics. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me.
Phoenix, try thinking outside the box.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker.
According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
To ditch the disguise. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth?
It's trench coat, damn it!
Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. Shall we watch it for a 50-second time? I don't have any evidence, so this is my only shot.
There are more ways to find out.
Very well, let's take yet another look at the security tape.
Alright.
After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness looked at the cloth.
Dun, 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 dun,
Badger, blind spot.
Alright.
He just gets taken out like a bitch.
Bam!
Quick, draw a conclusion for the video.
It's a jump to conclusions, Matt. It's got all these conclusions that you can jump to.
That is literally the worst idea I've ever heard.
It's terrible.
It's just terrible. For some reason, you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end.
Yet.
Yet.
Give me time. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekett barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekett's panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat? You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker.
Not bad, partner.
The coat don't fit, you must have quit. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to give up?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago...
I was really hoping you would go Edgeworth voice.
Yeah.
I've never been happy.
I've never been happy. You were only half as persistent then as you are today. We all wouldn't have to be here now would we?
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it.
All right. It seems the time has come. All right. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
So the supposed victim was really you?
But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand when I stabbed him. My guess is he's the dumb.
Just him come running in like, it's true, my family gushes a lot of blood.
We have extremely high blood pressure!
Yeah, thank you. It was way too much blood for such a small donation.
All right. Let's press that. Let's ask him about.
When you said it, you mean...
Do you even have to ask, partner?
I do, it's my job. The SL9 incident.
2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over.
But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? And why did you wait till the literal last day?
When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine.
Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it?
That day was my last chance. That's why. Alright.
Just press everything, man.
Yeah, just press everything.
All 5.
Alright.
Well, the thing I was getting out of the locker was a pint of pig's blood.
You know that broken vase? It was just full of blood. It's from this weird cult that we arrested all of them,
But we kept the blood
we
in the
kept the
vase.
blood. I mean, it was perfectly good blood.
Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman?
If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera.
And the detective's ID card?
I stole that the morning of the incident.
So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report.
I returned his ID card,
To his corpse.
left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot.
I see, you've committed many crimes, thank you. The ID card I found was left by Officer Marshall.
So, essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself.
But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. Is no one's concerned about that officer drinking? Man, you should have seen his office. He had 13 bottles?
Yeah,
or something?
13
Yeah.
separate bottles of booze.
Yeah.
It was impressive.
That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. Okay. I knocked him out. You mean stabbed him with a knife? You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins to drive off him. Sorry, I just read that completely.
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. Didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
I'll have to think a little bit more about his raise this year.
Why did Edgeworth get so much influence? Seriously, he's a police officer. You're a prosecuting attorney. Like, this doesn't make any sense at all. What is with this Japanese court system?
Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly.
I'm pretty sure he's pulled more out of the flask. Well, he hides, like, the rest under the lectern there.
Yeah.
And he just keeps refilling the flask. There's actually a tap. Just
Yeah.
right there.
I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything.
By the way, what happened to your knife?
Oh, you mean this one?
I don't know what to say. I mean, I've been
Just
staring at
had
it
it
all
on him
day.
the whole time. I mean, I guess he'd just keep it, wash the blood off, and like nobody was supposed to know he was there.
You're going to jail for a while.
So you knocked Officer Meekins out.
I don't like the terminology of you knocked him out.
No.
You stabbed him in the hand, like, while fighting him, and then threw him to the ground.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like knocked him out is too light.
You brutally assaulted Officer Meekins. It would be a little more accurate.
Yeah.
Alright. Press that one.
So you did your research beforehand.
Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape was erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins.
So much little concern for him.
Yeah. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there.
What was Officer Meekins doing during that time?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
Covered in his own blood. Just like a baby.
So what you're saying is, on that day,
Alright.
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
what? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence?
It's still missing, Your Honor.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. After he's lied to us all day, I suddenly believe everything he says.
Yeah.
Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
Why did you do this, you dumb fuck? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. These are crimes. There is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Oh, Phoenix.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution.
Like I said, it's in your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
Japan America or Ameripan? I think Charles is right. I think Ameripan works a
I
little
think
bit better.
Ameripan.
Yeah, you got it, Charles.
I still refer to this game as taking place in San Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco for sure. It says California, but...
Super quotes.
yeah. It's definitely California of Japan.
Yeah.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
Is zeal your term for bullshit?
Yes.
I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why?
But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes.
California Prefecture, Japan.
One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence.
I remember the Joe Dark case. I was a young man back then. It was 2 years ago.
My beard was only 7/8 the length it is now.
It involved serial murders, didn't it? When did we get to do a case with serial murders? We only get like one at a time. Maybe
Yeah.
two if we're really lucky. And usually the second one happened years ago. This case, I was excited. It was like 2 people were killed, but no, it was the same person. Now it's only 1 person.
Yeah, I mean, you got a point. He must preside over so many murder cases that, like, it doesn't faze him at all.
No.
Like he's pretty absent-minded, but, like, the amount of times murder cases are brought before him by these 2 assholes.
Yeah.
It's like,
Like, I wonder,
he's
like-
just got to be blasé about it after a while, right?
Do you think he has a lot of other cases he presides over? Or is he just the murder guy?
He's just
Like-
the funny murder judge.
Oh, there was a murder. Should we get the Whitebeard judge? I don't know his name.
Yeah.
Should we get him? No. This was just a regular drive-by shooting. Nothing weird. No crazy names. No silly hair.
Okay.
Just get the other judge.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's a murder, but it was a convoluted plot. Okay, you know who to call.
Yes.
And he just slides down a fire pole in his apartment.
Yeah.
Achie, away!
The tea set in Edgeworth's office folds open, and there's a hotline with the big red button beeping, and he answers the phone.
His phone is a gavel.
No, the phone, Edgeworth's office, the phone has a cravat on it.
Oh, I meant like the judge's phone.
Yes,
Yeah, it's a
the gavel just pops
And then
open.
he like it's the end of the gavel, and he like pulls out the antenna. Judge here. Yes, Judge. My first name is also Judge.
It's silly. Let me go back to reading Officer Marshall's stuff over here.
Not enough serial killers use spoons. Serial killer. That is like the corniest like Halloween costume. The boxes of cereal taped to you with knives in them.
Yes.
Ugh.
I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. But there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Why is he so concerned with that incident? The one that discredited him and got him demoted. Led him to a life of drinking. Why is he so obsessive about this case?
Yeah.
I had a weird... I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I better take another look at the files.
I believe it was like, let's see. Neil Marshall. Yep, I knew it. I do know why. And it's this.
Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall? Yeah. I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
What? A prosecutor? You think I would have known that? Being the judge in this district.
Considering he won an award for being the best prosecutor 2 years ago.
They say best prosecutor. It just seems to be like the bullshit, like, prosecutor they don't like. But yeah. He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
How? It's 2 years ago, guys.
He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
But what's his relation to you? I just don't see the connection.
He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then deputy chief of police.
Man, when you thought the marshal couldn't get hotter.
Yeah, damn. Group of detectives I was part of worked under him. We were desperate to prosecute the killer.
Oh, God.
Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. It was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me.
Well, at least one thing's for certain.
Jake Marshall's an SL9 truther. It was an inside job. Bush did SL9.
No! Marshall can't melt steel beams? Like, where you going with this?
Oh, boy.
Well, at least one thing's for certain. You done fucked up. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence
We've
room.
been over all of this 3 times.
You need to hear it a 4th time. Officer Meekins confronted him. Did you guys keep up with this? So he rendered him unconscious and fled.
In case you missed... Like, we're doing a fucking clip show at this point. In case you missed the last 2 weeks of our stream, here's the catch-up part. Here it is, right there, on above me. There's
You trying to like grab his buttons?
there we go. Yeah, I'm trying to reach in his pocket. See what it is. He's got some.
Sure, his pocket.
He's got some goodies in there.
I'm sure he's got goodies in his pockets.
Okay. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance? It's gotta be more than just that.
So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one.
Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye.
But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial!
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But...
There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All the mysteries at the police department have been resolved. No doubt about it. Also, murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only subject is Lana Skye. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Oh shit.
Dick. Phoenix Wright seems to have the attention span of... You left me hanging, Tacit.
That counted as a word. He's done. We're done. We're guilty verdict. Hammer down. Nerd down. Gavel. Come on.
Hammer down.
Hammer down.
Hammer down.
Please buy our
You in the audience, I need you to type out hammer down when
Please.
when you want the judge to make a conviction. Hammer down!
Buy our D2E merch t-shirts that say hammer down with a gavel on it.
I know
A joke
we
that
don't
6
have,
people will get.
I was saying, I know we don't have our merch and enough fans yet, but Sing the Song You Bitch is on our list of fake shirts.
That one, I'm as good or better than you, Proto Man.
Yeah, that's an old one.
I designed that shirt years ago.
Yeah,
I still have the
we
Photoshop
still need to do
files.
it. I'm as good or better than you, Proto Man.
Mega Man, you patriotic doofus.
Bring down the hammer.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Much
Tacit.
obliged. Oh, there we go. I rest my case.
I think these cases take longer than an actual trial. Sadly, no, but they do draw out.
Yeah.
It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape was really a fake. But I didn't realize that I would end up proving Lana guilty.
Yo!
Now then, hammer down! The time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant!
Oh boy. Your Honor, wait!
Emma!
The defense has an objection! A scientific objection! Right?
What do you mean, right?
Mr. Wright. Are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor,
Please,
In
Your
a
Honor,
sense.
all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. Aw.
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SO9 incident referred to the Joe Dart killings.
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky Sisters were in that file.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint.
Yep. She's figured it out.
Have you figured it out?
You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again.
So, did you find something?
How did you not notice she was gone? Wasn't she in the stand?
No, she wasn't.
She was in the defendant lobby.
No, you remember she ran away when
That's-
she got upset.
That's right, that's right.
No.
Meekins has been killing people for years!
And I do it again, too! I'll kill all of you!
Like when he listed his occupation was murderer.
Occupation? Oh, that would be murderer, sir!
Yeah. It's Charles. I like him typing it. Oh, hello! I'm here to kill you! Dueling Meekins.
It would be better if it was, I'm here to kill you, sir.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all?
Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student.
Oh yeah, now you say that. And I'm just a fucking attorney.
But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have.
Hmm.
If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me? I consider it sir, but the victim isn't necessarily a supervisor. I don't think that matters to Meekins.
No, Meekins calls everybody sir.
Yeah, he called Phoenix.
I think he called Emma sir.
Yeah.
Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark.
Yeah.
Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
You guys, you watching it, bad guy, Tacit, you guys know where this is going, right?
Yeah.
Is it super obvious for you too?
Yeah.
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. I have a tea time.
Yes, Your Honor. If I ever needed to concentrate, it's now.
Gotta say real quick, I am concentrating on saving my game.
What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something that I'm missing? There's no problem! The handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction!
The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright.
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them?
Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. They're the only ones I got. Not much of the floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there?
Yes, something that when drawn will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Edward's so fed up with Wright.
Yeah.
Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time.
Of course not, Your Honor. Now the contradiction with this
Lana,
evidence.
remember,
on
I get
the
paid by the
floor-
hour.
On the floor plan
Yeah.
is not
It just,
yeah. right.
he just closes his eyes and looks at the floor plans. Penalty? Okay, let's try again.
Very well, Mr. Wright.
With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use.
The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans?
Sir, yes, sir, Sir Honor, sir! No.
I'm just.
Come on.
That one, right?
Go back. Keep going.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was so frustrating because it's just been every video.
Yeah. What about that piece of plywood?
The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, protector of justice, fighting crimes, saving lives.
Oh, look.
Oh my god! Me and you, Phoenix, we were on the same freaking wavelength. I had no idea that was coming. Defender of truth,
This guy.
guardian of proof.
This guy. This guy. Both of them.
Wow, I've become Phoenix Wright.
Now that's acting. You guys better respect.
Bringer of blind spots.
Explain
I can't
yourself,
believe
Mr.
that
Wright.
fucking happened. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here.
So?
So watch what happens when we put him in. Where does Andrew end and Phoenix begin? Well,
What?
Oh!
that's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker.
What? Why are you surprised? You didn't do it.
Where does Andrew end and Phoenix begin? Bad shirts.
So that means, what just exactly does that mean?
It means it can't be done.
What do you say? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker.
Don't look at me, I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think through it scientifically.
Emma!
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in.
Just one moment. I will not allow such
The best Pokemon ever. Boulder Dash in my courtroom! It may sound best Pokemon, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once but twice!
But how?
One time was captured on this tape taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time. someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape, it had to have been. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
That's ridiculous! I refuse to accept your absurd claim!
The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred!
When did the first incident occur? Double ejection.
To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marcy, now we're saying cut, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room.
That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this.
Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur, as Mr. Edgeworth said? Proof must be presented.
Triple!
Yeah.
Proof that shows when the murder took place. Triple dog dare objection.
Yeah.
Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? Ooh, actually, don't know.
I think it's the ID one, right?
Oh yeah, duh. It
Yeah.
has to be the ID card. That makes so much sense. No, the ID. Okay.
Yeah.
If a crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
An ID card? Oh! The ID card record!
Yeah, you go either way.
Yeah.
Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at... Let's see here,
4:50? Yeah. If a crime took place before that time, then it would be, 4:40. Oh! Oh! Miles Edgeworth! Just what have you done?
I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy.
It was 2 months ago. We all thought he killed somebody.
Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it.
Well, he said a lot of thought.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible.
That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room.
Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 7777777.
Talk about a lucky number.
But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the room?
Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer.
Yep. Figuring things out.
That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 77777.
That was only 6.
7.
That was only 6 sevens. That's 7 sevens. Okay.
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP.
Of course, Your Honor. What was the number again? I seem to have forgotten.
Oh no.
I'll jot it down right here. Oh, my pen is out of ink, and one more time, please.
Dips in a quill pen.
Buddy.
Oh no. Find out whose ID number is 7777777.
That's 1 7 too many, Your
Damn it! I hate you, game!
Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present.
What?
Explain yourself, son. The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
When the president commits a crime, it's not illegal. What are we going with here?
Buddy, have you seen our president? Are you kidding me? That's exactly how it works.
I was quoting Nixon, but sure. But that's just ridiculous. Just how?
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. Bitch, step off.
Bad guy. Emma? It's not the high school student.
There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
If an officer charge filed against an executive is accepted.
Mueller kind of reminds me of Edgeworth.
No.
There's like a 50-year gap between the two of those men, and one of them is gorgeous, and the other one is Edgeworth.
Hey, Edgeworth puts the cute in prosecute, all right? So,
Prosecute.
so step off.
You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
He's right.
I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes. No, not to you. To her. The defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive.
Lana.
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7777777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
The SL9 incident?
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Oh boy. Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor?
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time,
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least I did. What? I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized that we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Isn't that crazy?
Nice.
Defendant! Just what are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures.
This voice is actually kind of perfect.
That's just the way it is. By Bruce Hornsby and the Range is my favorite song. Anyway.
You do one line of that for that song in that voice.
Fucking stand in line, marking time, waiting on the welfare dime, because you can't buy a job.
Some things will never change. Sorry.
Let us
praise our Lords and Saviors Game Grumps for bestowing upon us that bit,
Whew.
which we have milked and
When
run
your
into the ground.
sister watches this back, man, we're gonna get a text.
Oh, I'm sure.
We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence.
I know, considering what Lana put Phoenix through, that voice actually suits her quite well.
Yeah,
Yeah, she sucks.
she's awful.
She is the worst character in this first game.
See? That's what I'm talking about. No! No!
I knew it! Order! 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 Order!
He's reaching new levels of judge. Super Judge
Yes,
3.
The courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of that trial would have to wait until the following day.
Bam!
That's right, unprecedented fourth day. I just like that the crowd got too riled up. So Lana's gonna get in trouble and maybe go to jail.
Yeah.
Marshall's going to jail.
Yeah.
Meekins gets a raise.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for him being, like, hyper diligent and also, like, weirdly bumbling. What was his...
He's the right mix of diligent and incompetent that we needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the monarch's henchman of the police
I'm
force.
sorry, what's that line?
They're just this perfect blend of indestructible and expendable that make them just perfect henchmen. I don't know what it is. The mighty monarch.
We should use that voice.
Well, yeah, definitely next game.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures.
Fucking 2 minutes ago,
Wednesday
game.
at 8 on ABC. Drastic measures. Follow my crazy exploits and come to the prosecutor's office. That's just the way it is.
Doo-doo-doo,
Some
doo-doo-doo.
things will never change. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
Oh my god.
I don't think Andrew is going to survive the stream.
No. Use this in the trial of Dustin Otwell.
Yeah. Ugh.
I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings.
Sorry, if you do want to read one.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Hello, my name is Lana Sky. I specialize in being a complete pain in the ass for defense attorneys, even when I'm the one being defended for murder charges.
Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me.
Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
What do you mean, what happened to you? How dark is this game about to get?
It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma?
Oh, I was his accomplice. It's really nothing special. I mean, I just carried out the bodies.
scientifically speaking, of
Yes.
course.
On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me.
What? He tried to kill you!
Joe Dark? He seemed like such a nice guy. I can't believe he'd do that.
A serial killer wanted to kill you too?
God, just fucking look at this guy. He looks like the villain from like
Okay.
I don't know, one of the Die Hard sequels. I don't know.
Oh, that was new art.
Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me.
So that means you.
Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial.
Good night, Charles. If you want to catch up later, it'll be on Twitch. We'll also put
We
it on
can
YouTube
wave
later
goodbye
on.
to you now.
But it's been a wild ride.
Thanks for joining us, Bad Guy 5. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, sure.
Let's learn Emma's story.
I didn't see that one coming.
All right. Well, I don't think we need to keep it up. All right.
It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too.
Well, yeah, it's exactly 2 years. That's the point of the fucking... Anyway.
There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office.
Joe Dark.
It seems like he was running with someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me.
Ah!
I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake Marshall's brother.
Joe Dark tried to take me hostage,
Such anime writing.
but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then,
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now.
A permanent picture.
That's after the incident.
I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall.
So you weren't able to testify about that?
No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it.
Edgeworth?
Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened.
So it's true, even though he may not have known about it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence.
It was more like laundering false evidence. You know?
Involved. I'll give it to him.
After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today.
She must not have been able to face up with what she did, and especially not to Emma.
All right, permanent picture. Let's go.
What did you see in the instant that the crime occurred?
Dark now knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl.
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Emma. You've been through so much.
Dramatic moments. Ugh.
I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good.
2 years ago? You must have been 14. That's understandable.
Ugh.
Freaking back is killing me.
Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any.
I see. No, I'm sorry that you're having back pain, Tanga. Huh.
Yeah.
I hope you're enjoying our lunacy and
Yeah, it's
silliness.
Very. Yeah. But this part of the game is like a real downer, so we're just kind of chilling after how nuts the last couple of minutes were.
I'm sorry, we were shouting and screaming and singing. It was
Yeah.
Man, we did a best of. Phoenix Wright would have a lot of material. I think I'm found. Oh, but
Alright.
once we find that meteorite, there's something that's puzzling me, Emma.
Have a wowie. A large gathering of people for a reason. What is it?
You said you were in Lana's office at the time? Yeah, right?
That's right.
Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor?
Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day.
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police?
Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office.
But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office?
Because the detective offices in the questioning room are right across from the elevator.
Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force.
What? That's news to me.
How do you go from detective to chief prosecutor in under 2 years?
Forging evidence.
I mean, apparently. Jesus Christ.
After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Fucking... Okay.
Lana used to be a detective? I better have another talk with her.
Alright.
I just want Phoenix to come in there like Vegeta when he's just super bad at Gohan and Krillin.
Yeah.
Just, sup, guys? You know?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Forging evidence?
I'm gonna fucking kill you!
Lana. Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble.
Fuck you, Lana.
Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type.
Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we?
And Tacit just, I wonder if that's for us referencing DBZ Abridged. Okay.
The criminals don't mind. Why should we? Because you're
yeah.
the police.
Super Galagun! Lana's not as charismatic as her sister.
But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks.
Lana, Emma told me about you. About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office.
That's right.
Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs?
Yeah, seriously.
Who did you sleep with? Well, Gant.
That's uncomfortable thoughts right there. I'm having a... I need a minute.
Oh, that music plays
Yeah.
during. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. He just like times it with the...
You're definitely getting a text from your sister.
Oh, fuck. Oh my god.
You ever want to see Dustin pelvic thrust into the camera?
I'm sorry. Oh boy. Alright, Lana.
I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright.
Alright.
A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today. Not the least of which was...
Revelations?
I know, I fucked up. I was just gonna roll right along.
No. That was me. That was me. You thought you could get away with
I
it.
did. That's
You thought
why
you could-
I didn't.
You were
I didn't
falsifying
pause.
evidence.
I kept going.
I caught it. I caught like the slightest crack in your voice when you said it.
And it was wrong right away. I was like,
If I keep
oh,
going,
Resident Evil, what have you done to me, Revelatons? The fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago.
gasp.
Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. I mean, have you seen this guy? What a kook! That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. And I got this sweet scarf. Isn't it lovely? It's made of silk.
It's a muffler. I was just a small-time detective.
And then fate threw me a curveball.
Woo! I was trying to come up with like some kind of punny name with like Chief Prosecutor and Lana Sky. It just wasn't coming together. You got
I
one,
guess the sky's the limit.
Ah! Well, all that drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15 there was no murder at the police department.
Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said. About you stabbing Mr. Goodwin with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why would you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me.
I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before.
I don't think I've ever seen her have an expression before. Alright.
It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. You still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together.
Chief Gant?
He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant, he was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed.
In your opinion, who has been the best character of the game and the worst?
That's a tough.
Are we counting like Phoenix and Miles, or are they just like too big? Are we going with side characters here?
I think we can count them. It's tough.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of these characters, and it's all kind
I'm
of a
the
big
real
blur.
Von Karma nut.
Yeah,
I
Von
like
Karma
that
was cool.
asshole.
Yeah,
Um,
I like doing his voice.
he might have been the best to me because it was such a great villain and so fun to take him down.
Yeah.
And when he lost his mind was great.
Oh yeah.
He ranks up there pretty high. Obviously, Phoenix and Miles are great. But,
Yeah. Wendy Oldbag was a curse on my throat.
Yeah.
That was difficult to do. Although I did like Will Powers.
Yeah,
Just
Will
like
Powers is
a-
pretty delightful.
Just like a dopey, well-mannered guy. And let's think. Red White was fun.
Yeah.
He's fun. April May is fun. Like the second case is like, despite your boss got murdered, it's really fun.
Yeah.
The second case has a lot of weird,
Bellboy.
wacky characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Maya, of course.
Yes.
Meow.
Little.
Nah, we haven't said it yet, but the Butts.
Yeah.
Like, the Butts is considered every time he's just hitting home runs.
Oh yeah. Butts is great.
I think the Butts has in his limited use, the most shots made.
Yes.
So he has like the highest PER. So
Yeah.
I'm probably a Butts guy.
Okay.
Worst character? I mean, Lana, like, we were making fun of her and such, but it's just a frustrating character.
Yeah, she's so fucking annoying.
And it's just like, she is just obtuse enough to make this video game work, But like as a human, if that existed, you'd just be like, I want to punch you in the face.
Yeah,
Like,
for real.
go to jail forever.
Yeah.
But I don't know who else I'd throw in there as like worst character.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I really didn't like the villain from 3. From the case 3.
Hmm.
The producer lady.
Oh,
She was kind of lame.
D. Vasquez.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
She's not very
there's not
memorable.
much. Yeah, you're right.
She's probably the least memorable character in that whole whole case, and then
Oh, Lotta. Yeah, they were shouting out the Lotta.
yeah,
Kind of in the middle on her.
Yeah.
I like her at times. I like their stupid thing we did that everyone hated. Y'all.
all right, let's keep going.
Yeah, sure.
Progress the plot.
Emma really idolizes her big sister. She's so naive and stupid. But now you're chief prosecutor, or at least you were until you admitted to falsifying evidence. What happened?
I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes, so you could use that experience in court, right?
Actually, I think Wendy Oldbag's tough on your voice, or
Yeah.
on your throat, but like, this voice doesn't seem to be that rough on you.
No, this one's not too bad. I like Wendy Oldbag, I did
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
kind of voice.
Yeah.
That was tough to do for a while, especially with how fast she talks.
Yes.
That was difficult.
Oh man, she comes back.
Yeah. Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office.
Yeah, I mean, you can always like check out our YouTube channel, This2 Entertainment. We do archive all these episodes.
Yep. We have 8 of them out
Yeah.
right now, as of today. 8 of these.
Yep.
They range anywhere from 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
So you feel like just like having us on in the background and
That's what I would say.
listening
Yeah.
to our like dumb voices. We really enjoy doing this. So
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do the rest of the Ace Attorney games,
yeah,
and we're gonna have to figure out how to do some of them, but we'll find a way
yeah, we'll get it.
through emulation.
Yeah. Let's ask about the Dark investigation. Let's see what we got. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark.
I did struggle with Undertale, but in the end, I came around to really liking it and hating it. So
Yeah,
it's a game that I have a lot of mixed emotions, but I'm very happy that I played it.
Yeah.
Second in command. That means the investigation led was Damon Gant, right?
Yes, Deputy Chief Gantz and I shared the same office and the same investigations. We were like 2 peas in a pod, best friends hitting the town.
They even had the same office.
We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho.
That was a weird thing to hear you say in that voice.
Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. But how would we ever prove it? What a wacky situation we found ourselves in.
I'm sorry I missed Tammy Village. You can't blame me. I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, that was my
This was the expert.
Yeah, sorry.
But
He'd already like kind of started to go past it, and I just decided,
yeah, I didn't know it was there.
Yeah,
but I looked it up on YouTube, and it's fucking hilarious with
Yeah.
great music. So
yeah.
yeah,
So that was a missed opportunity, but I think apart from that, he got to experience most of Undertale.
yeah. And then I did what all Undertale players do. I just YouTube the rest of it.
Yeah,
I ain't doing a all death run or genocide run.
I did both runs.
You did?
Yeah, I did
Wow.
genocide.
I did it on YouTube, and it was way more satisfying for me and
Yeah.
a lot easier.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the point, is that it's supposed to be like a drag. It's you get invested in it. Anyway,
Yeah.
we asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence.
Did you do it, Joe? Did you do it, Joe?
That was when his final murder took place.
when he tried to murder Emma.
Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me.
Now you tell us.
Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages and Dark must have suddenly panicked.
Lana Skyen, turn off the dark.
I keep trying to read it as Drake, and I have to stop myself. I see Drake every time, and I have to, like, think about it.
Drake and the 99 Dragons,
Yeah.
let's go.
So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. What strange bedfellows we found ourselves with. That's where he found me.
So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana?
It appears so. I was filing the papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark.
Oh my god!
When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood.
3 bodies.
Prosecutor Marshall,
Oh, wait. I was reading it.
Prosecutor Marshall. I'm sorry, Lana. I just had to do an impression.
Yeah, it's...
Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out.
and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seemed Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died.
How? He was stabbed in the back!
Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious.
What did you do?
I mean, I did what any sitcom character would do. I propped him up and pretended he was still conscious. That way we could interrogate him. How do you think we falsified the testimony? We propped him up like a ventriloquist dummy and moved his lips like this.
We Weekend at Bernie's, Tim.
Yes.
To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her.
Can't blame her after all her sister must have gone through.
This is really like a tragic story, and we're just like completely don't care.
Lana sucks.
After that,
Boo.
I placed Dark under immediate arrest.
Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident.
That's right. Quite a coincidence.
Yeah, we already said Lana was the worst. Yeah. I don't buy it.
What are you saying?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance.
But that case was solved 2 years ago.
Yeah.
At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. But soon, he'll find true love on this week's episode.
The sky's the limit.
I couldn't think of the title. I forgot.
Guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories.
That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Drake at the police department, right?
Thank you.
Huh? Oh, yeah! You put it in my head, you bastard! I didn't even think about it! I read it, and I was typing, and I was like, Why do you say thank you? No!
You used to call me on myself. You used to
Damn
stab
it!
me
You
in
dark
the
drink
office.
bastard! I wish you would have done that on purpose.
Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The chief's office.
Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder.
Alright.
Bah, bah, bah.
Hope we run into Gant so I can do that voice again. I like doing
What
that
else
voice.
can make Andrew shout no really loud besides Bungle in the jungle? I can't wait till those Kingdom Hearts episodes go up where Mike is just trying to find ways to get me agitated. It was pretty silly.
Yeah. I'm going to be working on that a lot this week. I got a lot of time this week, so I'm going to be putting up some of them episodes, catching
I
up
don't
on
see
the docket.
Detective Gumshoe anywhere.
Things seem kind of quiet around here today.
You're right. The chief of detectives seems the same, though.
Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to?
Right. We can come back here later.
Alright. There we go. There we go. Howdy, Bambina.
Oh, Mr. Marshall.
I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Que sera, sera. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck would run out when old Billy dried up this morning.
Billy?
Must have been his pet cactus? Say, where are you headed?
Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner.
But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it?
Why the prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one.
Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us what exactly happened?
Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Hey, something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so.
What do you mean, fishy?
This is a very specific reference, but this sounds like Bok time music.
Yeah.
I always thought it reminds me of Teehee Valley from Mario Superstar Saga.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
It's got that feel. Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon.
The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip?
Does it sound like Code Lyoko music?
I'm gonna have that on a soundboard. Just that. That's
all you need.
Yeah. That was Joe Dark's all right. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised.
That should be what people donate.
Question?
The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained.
What does that mean?
It means there's a good chance that that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased.
Could the facts have been concealed with the forged evidence?
That case left behind scars on all of us.
The scars that the SL9 incident left behind.
Alright, let's talk about Prosecutor Marshall. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together.
How old was he? Your brother?
He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day.
The highest honor? You mean the...
King of prosecutors.
I knew it.
What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor.
Officer Marshall must have been really close to his brother to believe that nonsense.
The day the SO9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as...
That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal.
Interesting.
It was drizzling that morning. By nightfall, there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die.
Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty.
There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room.
What about Detective Goodman?
If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. Now, they were careful enough not to be too obvious.
They?
Who are you talking about?
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Sky. Alright. Intrigue. Drama. The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second in command, Lana Sky. Alright. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo.
Well,
A duo, just a pair of lonely ones who were meant to be a duo. Oh, sorry. We just watched American Tail, so that song's in my head. That case was the biggest step in both their careers.
after the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right?
Yeah, David Gant, new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective.
Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too.
In fact, she said exactly that multiple times.
Probably about 15.
Yeah.
Tell me, what happened to my sister?
Well,
Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out.
Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago. Glug, glug, glug.
Well, there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner?
It was certainly enlightening.
There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy.
It,
He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. That's so cute.
what a sound effect.
Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. All
And
right.
he was never heard from again.
The Blue Badger is still writhing around today.
Oh God. Sorry to dwell on this, but why exactly do you hate Lana? Was I right in calling her personality vacuum? Yeah, she doesn't have much personality, and like I was saying,
Yeah.
the way she talks to you is just so unlike any person ever would.
Yeah, she talks to you in such a very bland way. And the whole point is that she's hiding everything. But the thing is that
Her
she hides a
methods are
lot of
so
it for
weird.
no reason.
Yeah. Stop. Badger time.
Yeah.
Speaking of dancing. The whole police department has been dancing about like crazy since the other day.
Can I take out his batteries?
Badger.
I just can't help but feel he's gonna do something naughty.
Naughty?
I don't know. She's weird.
I like how you were speaking for her. I don't know.
Underground parking lot?
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get Angel Star again.
Oh boy. This is where she hangs out all the time. No one's here today. Not even Miss Star.
Okay, stand corrected.
Everyone's probably busy looking to what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are.
But we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m.
Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case.
But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Besides the other stuff she admitted that she's guilty of.
Hang in there, Lana.
I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow.
All right.
Hi, prosecutor. Ba-da-da, da-da-da.
Mr. Edgeworth isn't here.
Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee? He took a real beating in court today.
Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago.
I guess we'll just have to come back later.
All right. Well, that's those places. Back to the police department, and then move to criminal affairs. Okay, here we go. Gumshoe time.
This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. Except for that man, he's playing Galaga.
That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes.
Why does Edgeworth have his coat framed on his wall? That was his first ever petticoat? Like,
Yeah,
how's it work?
that was what he wore when he first became a prosecutor.
Oh, okay. So it's like hanging up your first, like, dollar.
It's like hanging up your old college jersey.
Yeah, okay.
It's like that.
But he still wears a similar outfit.
Yeah, he wears a similar, but not that one.
Okay.
Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room, brother.
Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us.
The chief prosecutor saying what she did and decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media and tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together.
I think festive is the word usually used for those.
Sir? We'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office.
Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor.
Oh my god, that sounded like a freaking promo. Return
Really?
of Randy Savage Chief.
I'm trying to go for like the interview segments before
Yeah.
the fight.
That's a
where he's-
promo.
I'm gonna kick you know.
We're gonna teach you all the wrestling parlance, you
Yeah.
know.
I mean, we aren't police officers or anything.
Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. I'm gonna take you down.
Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's into the chief's office. Alright.
Oh my god.
So, like, I imagine when he shows up in the room and they start playing his theme song, it's actually being played on that organ and it's so loud, you just hear it everywhere.
He's Ganondorf.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, look at that shit.
Yeah. Whoa. Where am I?
In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door.
You see that pipe organ? It's real, isn't it?
It's crazy looking.
Huge! Gantendorf.
Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten.
A clashing suit. Sorry. Our
They used to call me Little Miss Bach. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes.
Damn, you stole my Zelda reference.
I never could remember where C was.
I was to say, what's your Gant voice again?
Oh, it's you two.
Chief Gant! He put that paper he was reading in his desk.
So, Righto, have you been swimming lately?
No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately.
I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement.
Provocative statement. Oh, you mean about the forged evidence?
2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me.
I understand it's the perspective and such, but that spear on the knight.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
We took it to commemorate our work together.
So do you guys wear the same clothes like literally every day? And how do you get assigned these uniforms?
I have 700 orange blazers in my closet. It's behind the pipe organ.
Tacit 100% agree. This music is stuck with me for a long time.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about doing this case, I just heard that dun dun. I can't quite see this.
All right. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together.
Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That case is long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore.
All the same, we'd still like to look around.
Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend.
Looks like we aren't welcome.
It seems that case isn't over with yet. After all,
What do you mean?
Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must have been a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. Besides, it's his personal space, and
Yeah.
You mean like a clue?
there's got to be a way we can get inside the chief's office.
Okay. Underground parking lot. Nope. Prosecutor's office. Nope. Criminal affairs. There we go. Here we go. Hey, pal!
Don't make me Warlock punch you in the nuts, righto.
Oh, yeah!
Wow, nicely done.
Oh, yeah, he has that, like, you know, I don't know. Stuff.
Oh, sorry, texting. Yes, buddy?
Just waiting.
Ah!
You
Why?
get to see how, like, dorky we really are to each other.
Yeah, for real. We're doing this kind of shit all the time. So now there's like
Yeah,
video
no,
evidence.
there's evidence of it.
Yeah.
Oh, like all my girlfriends call you my boyfriend.
I mean,
That's the title of my album.
title of your sex tape.
Oh no!
All right, let's go.
Oh gosh, Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting?
I'm just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
From sitting so long?
Actually, I'd watch that tape. Damn.
Hang on, one sec. Keep going.
All right. Actually, from serving everyone coffee.
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop.
Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth?
Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask?
He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court.
That sounds serious.
Is it because of what my sister said?
That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now, Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood.
Yikes.
But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. I made a joke that you need to donate a lot more bits. Spire, 100 bits. Here, you can get that for 100 bits. Give the people what they want.
200.
200 bits?
200.
200 bits?
All right.
You know, in the Nintendo video, I did kiss you, so
That is
they
true.
need to see that.
Yeah. E3 on Nintendo. Go watch it. We did a stupid Animal Crossing skit that I spent way too much time editing.
It's really well done. Hit the A button. Lana Sky is the guilty party here, isn't she?
Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this,
Are there really so many people who hate him?
in our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know for making enemies. He's got a point.
Hey, Dick, keep up the good work.
Yes, sir.
Let's go out for lunch again sometime. Naturally,
Yes, sir.
you gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick?
Yes, sir.
It seems you don't have any problems with enemies.
Nah, they all tried to beat me up in the locker room. They stole my lunch money. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out.
All 6'8" of him.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm a bit worried about it. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing.
He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth.
Besties. Sort of.
Well, did you find out anything?
The only evidence Doc left behind was during his final attack.
His final attack. You mean...
When he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some Goyle.
Agree with you, Tacit.
Me?
It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl.
That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all.
Well, what was it?
Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay?
His powers of recollection never fail to impress.
When it comes to disappointing, you never disappoint.
Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory.
Let's ask about Dark's crimes first. And no, you know what? We'll do present the knife. Hey, detective, you want to see my new knife?
About this?
Hey, is that...
It has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of?
What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker.
On the day Dr. Goodman was murdered, this stuff suddenly disappeared from the locker. It was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler.
That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating
Stop.
piece of evidence was.
I just wanted to point out for Tacit and Spire, just what Danny said about Gumshoe, that he has a Capri Sun straw sticking out of the back of his head, and he's just blowing air into it, that's inflating him and deflating him like a Capri Sun case.
When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me.
Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again.
Boy, the weapon.
Oh yeah, that knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it?
That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at, plus it had his fingerprints on it too.
But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken.
You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in.
Or was it?
The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound.
Did it match Dark's knife?
You bet, down to the last fiber.
Knife fiber?
It's metal, right? Is it a woven knife? How does that work?
What? Maybe it's just Gumshoe being a little clueless.
Yeah.
Neil's
right.
autopsy report.
All right. Joe Doc was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman.
Businessman? Yeah, well, what made him take to serial killing?
Hey, you know, these things happen, and one thing leads to the other, and you go to a convention and you meet some guys, and
Tacit, spoilers.
one day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car.
With his car? So it was an accident?
An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal.
An animal?
He killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed a lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by suspect, so he killed him too. Then when he was burying the bodies, a giant came upon the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in.
Seems he was a pretty careless animal.
Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence.
What? So he turned himself in?
Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Doc was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed.
That last witness. A.K.A. Emma.
Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know.
Can I ask you one more thing?
What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Guy. Oh, boy.
It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered.
The chief's out now and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around if that's okay.
Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. Why? Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I let a civilian in there...
They got separate fingerprint locks in the lockers
Yeah.
for the evidence that's for solved cases. But
anyone can just waltz into the fucking chief of police office room as long as they have an ID card?
yeah. This makes no sense.
I'd be charged with breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
Simply put, I'd be canned.
Oh.
Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
Well,
How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's.
That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died.
Or was it?
Oh.
So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office.
I wonder if something we could show him that would make him change his mind.
Burger.
Let's see. What do we got here?
You were on it, buddy.
Yeah. I was pretty sure that was it, but I just wanted to look at it first. Let me share a little advice with you as a detective. You don't have a clue, keep your trap shut.
Oh.
Sheesh.
Oh, I was wrong.
Yeah. Weird. It was the jar.
Hmm.
Oh, there it is, yeah. About that jar. I think I've seen it somewhere before.
Somewhere?
Or maybe it's one of those memories people have from previous lives.
This must be the most uninformative detective I've ever met.
Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me.
Chief Gambler.
Where could I have seen that before? Oh, wait, no, oh,
Damn it! I thought you had it there.
Present.
So we did Switchblade Knife.
Yeah, we showed him the
Yeah.
knife and we showed him the jar. Let's look elsewhere.
Oh, we actually need to leave.
Oh, we do?
Underground parking lot.
Huh. Weird ass obtuse game.
Then High Prosecutor's office room.
Okay.
Yep.
Find Edgeworth.
Mm-hmm.
We are.
I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet.
There he is. He looks like he's writing something.
What are you doing here?
He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day at court, huh?
I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me?
Sheriff, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm rooting for you.
That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings.
So, what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I do can erase that.
But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified.
The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. In the criminal justice system, two equally important groups. He's literally explaining Law and Order to the
That's
show.
true. That's true.
That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have.
Mr. Edgeworth,
I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this?
Tell me why. Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow?
First last year's trial and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me.
I mean, look at you.
To be honest, you're getting on my nerves.
Oh,
Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial.
Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this.
what do you mean?
The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long.
It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Everyone's saying it's like the killer never left much evidence. Like
Yes.
they've been saying that constantly.
Well,
there was no evidence until the last murder.
But I guess what they're saying is they don't go to trial until they have a lot.
Yeah.
So,
After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time.
Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time.
that picture. Something seems strange about it.
Says day of crime.
Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered. You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right?
I never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one.
Because you were awarded this?
Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony.
Oh, you sly motherfucker.
I finished up at the office in the morning and then drove over to the police department.
You finished up at the office?
Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. Stock market.
Still same right.
Rumble sports team? I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back.
Take something back?
This.
Oh yeah, Chief Gang asked you to hold on to that, didn't he?
Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office.
That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to. I wonder why
Yeah.
the chief asked him to drive his car back to the office. We're
What
gonna
a-
be shocked in 30 minutes when
Yeah.
everyone figures this out.
Yeah. I mean, no, he didn't do that. I don't understand what a surprise this is. What a mystery this is.
Oh, what a mystery.
Alright, let's show him... I keep hitting the court record and not the present button. There we go.
This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. I took a Polaroid of it.
Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy.
Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me.
Yes.
The trophy Mr. Marshall's holding, it's a little different than yours.
Yes, you're right. Ah, I remember now.
Remember what?
That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design.
A story?
Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us?
It's simple, really. Oh, thank God. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale.
Go on.
Keep going. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd and the second means shield. Have you heard this story?
Me? Yeah, sure. Everybody knows that. Why don't you tell us, though? For Emma's sake.
Very well.
Bought it. What is with the music?
Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon.
Those claims contradict each other.
Very perceptive, but then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very description of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. and thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born.
Oh, I see. So the chip shield and broken knife symbolize.
Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant and lost for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this.
Wow. Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today.
That's funny, and obviously completely necessary. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield?
You'll have to ask Chief Gat. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the ward abolished.
Chief Gan.
Alright. Anything else for Edgeworth?
I think that's all we needed.
Yeah.
Hang on. You can inspect that piece of paper.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I wonder what he was writing before. Let me sneak right by him, bend down, and pick this up.
Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look.
Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there!
Just distract him. I'll check it out.
Hey, Edgeworth! Hey, Edgeworth!
Heard you were talking shit?
Is that Detective Gumshoe out of the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground!
Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet.
He didn't even look.
What? Letter of...
If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation.
Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean...
I'm tired, Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died.
Mr. Edgeworth, none of it's your fault.
It's time for me to retire at the age of 23.
Yeah, I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either.
Uh-oh. I think he's serious.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Ruh-roh!
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something.
This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything.
I know what I'm using it for.
Yeah.
He's serious.
Nicely done.
Alright. Alright. Oh boy, more stuff.
I know it's getting late, but with you being off and us being near the end, do you want to, like, just try to push through and make this a long stream? Just because, like, we are kind of near the end and there's only so much to go.
I mean,
I know it's going to be about another hour.
yeah,
But it's not
that's
going to
true.
be a full stream for next time we do this.
That's true.
Edgeworth's always serious.
Yes, he is. I don't know. We could either do that, or we could stop at the investigation and then do the trial next week.
Because I'm just, like, looking at, like, what's left, and I'm like, it's not... We would have to split it up with something else.
Yeah.
I know splitting it up isn't exactly what you want to do. It's a long trial, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
I kind of, like, was thinking just with the timing to press on.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
don't mind being up a little late, but
That's fair. All
I
right.
might have to go get another Fresca. But
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Let's do it. Let's keep going.
all right.
We may take a short break to grab a quick bite to eat or drink, but we're gonna power through this, man.
Yeah, we could take turns.
Yeah. Just star.
Well, I'll try. Excuse me.
Yep. There
Good job. Would either of you care for a £1/4 of roast beef? Miss Star! I guess she's out of lunches? You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? I don't think I'm ready for the last trial part, honestly. Sure.
You reading that?
I'm about to.
Are you? Just look at the words. Look at the words over here.
Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk.
What? What?
I find Star kind of cheesy and annoying. Don't blame you.
Oh my god.
Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little scene I happened to witness? The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eating. Miss Starr's hatred toward Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago.
Alright, well, since this is going to be mostly you for a minute, I'm going to go grab some stuff.
Can you grab me a Fresca?
I will grab you a Fresca. Any
Thank
other
you.
things?
Huh?
Anything
No,
else?
I'm good.
Alright, I will return.
Yeah. Flying solo.
Oh no, the void!
Wow, you walked right out of the, underground parking lot. Joe Duck, that's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? What else, Phoenix? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye. My sister? The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by the legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant? That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked by how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong. Pretenders. Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear while other items were kept secret. Damn, overdone as a food pun too. Curse you, Angel! But you didn't have proof anything illegal was done. Would you like my ammo? I didn't have an ammo, so I had to make one up.
Whew, sorry, I had to struggle to escape the void. Whew. How's it going, man?
Oh, you can eat your crackers. I'll keep going.
Yeah, I put the Fresca down next to you.
Oh, thank you. After that case, all of us, save Goodman, were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office
and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. That's why she chose to become a detective. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Sky was merely being used as a pawn. Fresca, the freskening. It's the best. That's my take on the matter. She was being used? Damon Gant and Lana Sky. Gant led the investigation with Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He'd produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean... Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then.
By incredible, do you mean not credible?
Isn't that what incredible means?
Yes, it
That
is.
means...
Making a pun.
Okay. And other fighters with his up tilt. I like your Ganondorf jokes, tacit.
A+ Ganondorf jokes.
No one dared confront him, though. I take it she's talking about forged evidence. If that wasn't already obvious for you viewers. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her.
Really?
Oh, yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked, and always watched out for other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jock.
Jock?
Jock.
Mr. Marshall.
When Jock's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock.
I wouldn't call him recovered.
That's
Any
true.
kind of recovered.
He's definitely not in any way recovered.
Oh my god.
Got a few steps.
How many?
12.
Oh, okay.
That's what makes it all the more infuriating.
Star.
That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago. Didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence.
Chief.
That's right, having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured.
He fought the last chief in a battle to the death.
Like, he was able to solve the only serial killing in this, like, land? I don't know, it's very weird.
Considering the amount of murders, I'm surprised there aren't more serial murders in Phoenix Wright.
Yeah. That's what I was saying with the judge, like, it's always
Yeah.
1 or 2, and the second one was
Exactly.
5 years ago.
Exactly. Oh my god. So is it like he had to challenge the previous chief to become chief?
One had a sword, one had a shield.
Yeah.
There was only one thing left for him to control. And then no one can stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? He's proceeded stage coup d'etat
of the Twilight Realm. I don't know why these Ganondorf jokes are killing me so much, but they're making me so giggly. That must have been his goal all along.
Well, how you can grow on
Usually, I'm the one with the mouthful. Cough up queen. Alright. I don't know, but one thing is for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change. At last! Maybe it was that when she said she sold her soul. I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Star. You listen to me, Rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been.
Alright,
Zant took her place. No, it's Gant, not Zant.
alright. Back to criminal affairs. Oh, you're back.
You're still here?
I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning it into a regular DJ. Oh,
You're a DJ as well?
If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey.
Oh, that DJ. Okay.
I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no. I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. There'll be my neck on the line. See how big this is? See how big my neck is?
That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there.
There's got to be something we can do to make the detective change his mind.
I think we know.
What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way! Mr. Edgewood can't be serious!
Is he ever not serious?
Can't believe they pushed him this far.
Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible.
When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice too.
Willing to sacrifice.
But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. We betrayed him.
Detective?
That's it. I've made up my mind.
But
Here, take my ID card.
We can't do that. If someone found out.
they wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report.
Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated.
What?
So at least let me do this. For Mr. Edgeworth's sake.
All right, detective. Thank you.
Tuck swiftly into pocket. Alright.
Stop typing so loud. We're trying to sneak into the office.
Yeah.
Here goes Mr. Wright.
Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. Imagine the Pink Panther theme, but played on a big ass organ. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun.
If anyone finds us now,
Detective Gumshoe's a goner.
If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Ah! Ah!
They run into each other?
sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah!
That's me. Ah! Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing, sneaking up on on us like that?
I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came through.
If you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Whoa! Phoenix!
I don't do that to my card.
Did he just like crush a laminated card in his hand?
So, oh my god. I hardly ever get a chance to come in here. So I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now.
You really do want to get fired, don't you?
Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out.
I've got a bad feeling about this, Tommy.
Let's see. Let's examine. Alright, so we got,
A microwave?
Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk.
Speaking of that, when we were here earlier...
Oh, it's you two.
Chief Gant! He put that paper he was reading in his desk. I wonder what he was reading.
This looks like a list of evidence.
A list of evidence?
In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, though.
Hey, look at the case name.
Huh? That's some mine said. I wonder what this is doing here.
Gee, I wonder what. Hold on, Detective. What did you just say?
I said, I wonder what.
No, about the evidence list. Normally, they're twice as long.
Yeah, that's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence.
A half-size list of evidence? That sounds vague enough to be the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
The list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long.
What would the other half of the list be doing here?
I knew it! The chief must be hiding something about that case.
It would appear so. Evidence list added to the court record.
Alright. Alright. We got a statue.
This is a real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons.
Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations.
First the pipe organ, and now this armor? Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room?
Yeah, he built a cathedral in a police station.
Unless they took over a cathedral
What?
to make a
You
police
mean
station.
we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes.
You don't have any taxes to pay.
Shh, be careful of what you say. Who knows, the chief may be hiding in this armor as we speak.
I don't think he'd fit in there.
Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out.
Cut it out, you guys don't know how scary that guy could be. Locked safe.
This is a safe, isn't it?
Safe. That void is ripe with intrigue.
Oh, okay, if you say so.
It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it.
7, 7, 7, 7.
You know what it is?
I have a hunch.
Oh, I know. You want to try my birthday. It's,
That was bizarre. Phoenix Vision, enhance, enhance, enhance.
Yeah. That was not particularly hard. It made a microwave sound.
Dude, I called it a microwave.
They
and
cooked the evidence.
Man, I am on the same wavelength as this game.
Yeah, oh, man, we'll talk about cooking the books, am I right? Oh.
Oh.
What number did you enter?
Whose birthday was that, pal?
777777. The final ID card number on that record.
You missed a 7.
Did I?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It was only 6 sevens.
I'm willing to take that bet. Prove it to me later.
Sure. Fine.
What?
The number on the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day?
You mean 777777? That ID number?
I think you're 1-7 shy this time. This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number.
Ori sucks at security.
True.
Say, anyone care to look inside?
Phoenix Vision, enhance. Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away?
Look, it's a
shard from a broken cup.
This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before?
something else in here too.
What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth?
This is a handprint, isn't it?
Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, it was just a thought.
Is that it? This is all that was in the safe?
Apparently so. It's empty now.
A piece of cloth with a handprint on it, and a broken shot from a cup.
They look like pieces of evidence. If only we weren't so freaking stupid.
Yeah, but unless you can prove they got something to do with the case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here.
Great. Now I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SL9 incident?
Come on, there's gotta be something we can show the detective.
Alright. Alright. And, present. Boom.
Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar?
I remember when the three of us put that back together. Ah, those were the days.
It's kind of early to be nostalgic.
Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case?
Yeah, that's right. One of the shards has an SL9 incident sticker on it.
Does this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found?
You mean this one? That was in the safe?
Yes, that one. That was in the safe.
Halfway doing his voice.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells! Let's see if it fits!
Alright.
Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do.
Mr. Wright, here's some glue.
If I can put this piece together again, it'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. Yep, I was waiting for the music to kick in. Solve this riddle, Dustin.
Gasp!
There! It fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe for some weirdly weird reason. He's horrible at covering his tracks. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident.
But
Hey guys, get a load of this!
What is it?
This piece you just attached. It's different from the others.
there's a reddish line on it.
A reddish line? That's blood!
I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe? Alright. Let's see, what else we got here?
These shelves are mostly empty? Lana must have cleaned them out when she transferred over to the prosecutor's office.
That was 2 years ago, they didn't clean it up?
Yeah. There's a small picture frame on the left shelf.
Hey! This is when Lana and I went to that theme park.
Oh. Alright.
Anything else you want to see?
Yeah, I think I gotta show him another piece of evidence, right?
Yeah.
To prove the,
Fingerprint inset.
yeah.
Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this.
Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints?
It's a great idea, Detective.
All right, go to town, sheesh.
What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that?
Go ahead, take my fingerprints. Eh? Eh?
It's not your fingerprints we want to take.
Ah!
Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe.
Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Jeez, where's your sense of humor?
Okay, Mrs. Wright, let's check for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then, once they've been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away.
Thanks to my masterful pot fixing skills. What are you, my mom? I'll have to be told a million times. Video game? Alright, let's get this over with.
Alright, let's look at the index finger.
I gave it my best shot,
That kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it?
but it doesn't look like we'll get a clearer result from this print.
Okay, let's try a different finger then. Let's try the middle finger.
There we go.
Do you know whose finger it's gonna be?
I forget whose fingerprint this is.
I know, I was just saying, you want to take a guess?
It's Gats? Oh, Neil Marshall's. No? Okay. It looks the same but reversed. No.
Similar, huh?
Yeah.
No, well, that doesn't match.
Looks like we're out of clues this time.
Yeah. But it was inside the chief's safe.
Right, along with that shard.
So that means it's gotta have something to do with that incident.
The one that happened right here in this room. She's right. We should check the fingerprints of everyone who was here that day.
The way I see it, there's a higher power at work here. You just gotta have faith. Alright, and there we go. You could just say no match and then try again. You didn't need to fucking explain to everything.
No! How could this be?
Oh my god, the bear is driving. How can this be?
Clerks references. Clerks animated series references.
Yep.
Speaking of Judge Reinhold.
Yeah.
What are Emma's fingerprints doing here?
Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they?
Huh? Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They are clear enough to get a match.
Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints.
Psst. Hey, you, over here. What's going on here? What are that kid's prints doing inside the chief's safe?
Don't ask me! Let's just keep this information from Emma for now.
Here, maybe you should hold on to this.
Is the court record just like a shopping cart with all this shit in it?
Yeah, for real.
That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's?
Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago.
Is anyone using it now?
No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene.
That's a strange reason to leave it there.
He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He taught us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time.
Hey, see?
So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk?
No one except Chief Gant and the cleaning lady who's in here each morning.
Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining.
Oh, but there are.
This was Lana's desk. It sure is tidy.
Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner.
There's not even any dust on it. Looks like someone's still keeping it clean. Does Lana ever come back here?
Nope. Chief Gant must still keep it clean in memory of that partnership. They were the stuff legends are made of.
Does he keep it in memory of her, or in memory of the crime?
I thought there was like something.
I think there's something on his desk. Okay.
Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk.
We found this inside the drawer. A list of evidence from the SL9 incident.
Mr. Edgeworth had the other half of that list.
What would a list be doing here? We better look a little more into this.
Alright. Well, let's look in the court record.
Oh. What? That's her drawing. I wonder what this is. It looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here?
What is it? Did you find something?
I can't make it out. I better keep quiet about it for now.
God damn it, Phoenix, what are you, Lana?
Yeah, Phoenix, you let me down, buddy. Oh, hi. It's nothing.
Why are your eyes moving about like that, Mr. Wright?
I better not forget about this picture.
What else we got? Yep, pretty standard stuff. Alright, let's keep talking to Gumshoe. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it?
Why do you ask?
You don't think... you wouldn't be... No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
What are you driving at, buddy? Okay, now then. Let's look around a bit more.
Hey, hold on! Not so fast, buddy!
Huh? What is it?
When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal.
What are you, my girlfriend?
You don't just let it go at that.
Sorry. This guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you?
You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you?
What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him?
Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? He likes swimming. Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet.
I think he looks like a thwomp.
His head is a thwomp.
Yeah.
You nailed it last time.
Yeah, this is for the folks who are coming in new. Damon Gant is a thwomp in a suit.
That head is so thwompy.
Yeah. There you go, ignoring me again. Well, was I any help?
Of course! Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence.
Now, that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right? You in the coat. Ah! She's good!
We didn't think you'd be back so soon. We were only in here for 45 minutes.
Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run right into a pole. Just then I thought of a certain detective. Do you mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir. Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir! Now get out. Yes, sir!
We'll be on our way too, then.
Wait, you the one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet.
Me, sir?
I'd like a word with you.
But, sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet.
You with the spiky hat, you're free to go.
No, don't leave her.
Mr. Wright!
Gant straps Emma to a chair.
Oh, boy. This is not good.
Why would you leave the 16-year-old with that guy?
No! Yeah, fucking no!
Phoenix, what the fuck? You're her sort of guardian.
Yeah. Look, pal, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you?
I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired.
Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it.
I love this guy so much.
Yeah. Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. Well, but why has she kept eerily silent about it all this time?
See a bitch. Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal.
After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. So, I had your sister in my care, and I left your underage sister with this, giant creepo who you know is a giant creepo, and, has committed many crimes.
I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning.
It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to be doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here.
But I've already told you all I can.
What you've told me over these past couple days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing.
Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman.
You know, I think I finally figured it out.
Excuse me, I was telling you something. Am I not even in the room?
I know who it is that's lurking behind your words.
Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right.
Edgeworth?
Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe.
Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story.
Let's wrap up this fucking investigation part.
Yeah.
God, this takes forever. Alright.
I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence.
That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual.
What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say. So you think I'm protecting this person?
Protecting? No, I think it's more like it. I can't believe I fucked that up so bad.
Wow.
I'm tired.
It's more of a... It's more
I just, my brain stopped.
Gonna be okay for this job, buddy?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright.
If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you into silence.
For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who may I ask is this person you're speaking of? The one I am supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name? Mike Meekins. 2 years ago, he killed 7 people and he'll do it again.
Well, Miss Sky,
Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place.
I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans.
My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective.
Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes?
Because they're crimes. Why would you hide your own crimes? That's a non-statement.
That's a really good point.
Why would you even ask that? He tried to, why would he try to get away with it? Because he wanted to fucking get away with it. Because he didn't want to atone for his fucking actions. That's the point. So it makes you a criminal. His crimes.
Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence.
Of course, these are serious offenses.
Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned?
Chief Gant?
Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have been tampered with the evidence was
me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation.
Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant.
If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case.
I mean, which one you want?
Yeah.
I just found this in a safe in the chief's office. This jar piece and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking the blame for him?
Touche, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder.
Why not?
Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that.
Yes, I can, you stupid... You asshole!
3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate.
In the murder of Detective Goodman.
Or perhaps I should say, follow orders.
Fuck you, Lana, is the sentiment I'm getting right about now. Well, yeah.
Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Alright. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. And it was an order I would never forget.
If we get the option, like at the end of the trial, to be like, Lana, it's okay. Here's a piece of evidence that will make you feel better. Fuck her. Show her your damn attorney badge and let's move on.
I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car.
Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Just tried to move the body and take the blame for other crimes.
Hell of
With your other crimes that you've already admitted to.
Yeah.
Our hero.
Correct.
Yeah, but she's not guilty of this specific thing, so it's all okay.
Yeah, I know. She's like guilty of so many things. Won't have her job. Ugh.
She'll be in jail forever.
The trunk's lock was broken. And I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body.
The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife?
Yes, understand that we will find a next episode on Body of Evidence. Tuesdays at 8 on NBC.
On NABC.
I'm so fucking tired, man.
We'll get through this part.
Now!
It never ends!
When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it.
The knife from the SL9 incident. The serial killer Joe Dark's knife.
I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife.
She stabbed a dead body. Let's just keep adding to her crimes.
That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand.
Wait, what? And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand.
Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in.
Miss Starr, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly?
It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be open again. But fate had other plans in mind for me. Lana Sky. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible.
So, you hid Dark's knife.
The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that.
So, the murder was better than your reputation of that? So, you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it in Edgeworth's exhaust pipe.
Right, then I called my sister.
The fuck
to
were
tell her
you
what
thinking?
happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler.
You asked Emma?
I didn't want anyone on the force to know about that.
That would explain why Emma was so confident. Also, you defended her so much about, like, my sister would never do this. But she committed the other crime.
Yeah, she committed
You're
like
okay with
90 other crimes.
You're okay with the other crimes
She
she
just
committed.
specifically did
Didn't
not
kill
kill this
Bruce
one
Goodman.
guy. Yeah.
This is so stupid.
Yeah, for fucking...
I forgot how, like, bizarrely stupid this case got.
Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day.
All I ever wanted to do is follow my dream to be a giant anchor for an aircraft carrier.
The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Kent, my life turned upside down and nothing would ever be the same. The first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall.
To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him?
The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade on his own.
Oh, you mean...
Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take this into his own hands.
Sip.
He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. What a stupid plan.
He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared.
So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. Just
Stop.
keep rotating her.
Are you on a swivel chair and you can't like fucking get it straight? Is it just moving on its own?
I'm afraid that's all I can tell you.
What else could there be
Thank
at this
God.
point that you are hiding?
You've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please,
Swivel.
don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow.
Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. Dang it, Lana. Gotta do everything in there. Edgeworth's 4-digit license plate.
Sounds like Lana's in the danger zone.
Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in Chief's office 2 years ago? Yeah, because everything you've done so far has shown you surely won't investigate any further. Oh my god, that Archer reference was there all this time and I didn't think to make it! It
Oh,
paid off
man.
nicely in the end. Dude, we are done. This trial drags. I do remember it being super long. But, man, does it drag.
Do you want to keep going?
I think our crowd is also tired.
It's been a long night.
Mike is like, it's going to be at least 90 minutes
Yeah,
on the short end.
that's fair.
So,
We got through the investigation. We pushed through all that. All that's left is the final trial. We got a former and an after.
and since we're off, well, Thursday, Friday, we're both off. You're off this week. Like, Wednesday, we could just, pretty
Yeah.
much guaranteed to do the stream.
Yeah, we're definitely doing a stream on Wednesday. We might just finish this up and then switch into something else.
Mario Maker. We both know it's coming.
Yeah.
Played so much Mario Maker. My hat is Mario Maker.
Yeah.
Whew.
All right, guys.
Let's come back Wednesday night and finish off Damon Gant. So we'll see you there.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us on our very first green screen stream. We're very excited about this, and we're very excited that everybody, you guys are amazing. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.